Welcome to the Rewilded Human podcast, where Dr. Lucille and Lynn will tackle your most difficult and intimate questions with candor, tough love, and a little dash of humor. In today's episode,
by being happy for other people, you are much more likely to attract love to yourself. So don't be a miserable cow. Be happy for the people around you. Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 15 of the Rewilded Human podcast. We are so happy to have you guys back with us. We hope you've enjoyed our previous episodes as well. I'm Lynn Hardy. I am a naturopath, a nutritional consultant, and I also studied a bit of psychology, and I do have a huge interest in this. I'm also a best-selling author. You can see my books behind me, The Aging Games, How to Come Out a Winner, and my latest book, The Fasting Bible, and you can check those out on Amazon. And let me introduce you to my beautiful and very, very wise co-star and co-founder of this podcast. This is Dr. Lucille. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, hi, everybody. I'm Dr. Lucille Neckes, and I have been a psychiatrist, psychotherapist, like forever, over 35 years now. I'm sorry, I can't even recall the number now of how many years I've been doing it. And I'm an EMDR practitioner, and I also am a Healy World member, and I will show you my little one Healy device. I love frequency devices. I know Lynn shares this interest in frequency devices as well. So I love introducing people to devices that can enhance their bioenergetic field on all levels. So I'm just excited to be here with my pal, Lynn Hardy.
Thank you so much, Lucille. And guys, if you want more information about the Healy, you can check out the link below. And also about EMDR, which Dr. Lucille just mentioned, we just did an episode, and that was episode 13. If you want to learn more about this healing method, or what would you call it? It would be a healing method, right?
It's a therapeutic modality.
Therapeutic modality, yes. Then do check out episode 13 to learn more. It was a great episode. I really enjoyed that one. So today, guys, we're doing something a little bit different. Again, we're doing the rapid fire, just like in episode 10. And the rapid fire is going to be about, am I the problem? So we're going to just plow through like 20 questions from people that are asking, am I the problem? And we're just going to give like really quick answers just off the top of our heads. We're not going to, go too deeply into these, just trying to get through them quickly for a bit of fun. Dr. Lucy, would you like to get started with number one?
Sure. Am I the problem if I never offer to pay when out with friends, always expecting them to cover the bill? They do have more money than me. I think you're the problem.
You're the problem. Just because your friends have more money than you, doesn't mean they need to pay. What I think a nice way to handle that, if your friends have so much more money and they insist on paying, then at least, take them, pay for coffee, pay for an ice cream. Like if you're not paying for the big things and they insist on paying for the big things, show a nice gesture by offering to pay for smaller things. Otherwise, you're the problem.
I totally agree. Because it's not just about the money. It's about the appreciation.
Exactly.
Appreciation for being.
And nothing, it's nothing is owed to you because they're your friends. It doesn't mean they have to pay for everything. I think I always end up paying for almost all of my friends. It's always been like that. And it gets a bit annoying. So I always appreciate it when somebody invites me back. And even if it's just a small thing, it really makes me feel good. So
sure.
Give it a little bit back. Be a nice guy. Or girl. The next question is, am I being unreasonable for feeling hurt and avoiding my sister after she excluded me from a significant girls' night out 2 years ago? Well, 2 years ago. Get over it, girl. I mean, come on.
I agree.
Jesus. People are still harping over something that happened 2 years ago. She excluded you from a significant girls' night out. I mean, does she have to include you in everything? Are you guys joint twins or something? I don't know.
That's a great point. That's a great point. And, if you're hurt about her avoiding inviting you to this, do you think maybe that you are avoiding her and that might hurt her as well? So, maybe you need to think about this sitting down with her and having it out and deciding what really happened 2 years ago. And whether or not it's worth holding on to this grievance.
Yeah. Your sister's probably sitting there wondering what happened. Like, why is she not?
Yeah,
Why is she avoiding
exactly.
me? And that's just
Yeah.
crazy. Okay, next one, Dr. Lucille.
Okay. Am I the problem if I cancel plans last minute regularly without considering how it affects my friends? Absolutely, yes. Would you agree?
Of course, that is just so rude. I can't stand people like that. Like, no,
Yes.
don't do that. I'm surprised you still have friends. You don't deserve friends. No, you don't deserve friends. You don't even deserve a dog. You are the problem. No, it's just wrong.
Not that we're judgmental in
No,
any way.
no judgment here, guys. We love everyone. You guys are all perfect as you are. But this is why I like this rapid fire, Maida, because if we can just be honest, like, it's
Sure.
anonymous. We don't have to worry.
Right. And if any of you who are viewing this or listening to us disagrees, please put it in the comments. We'd love to know your thoughts.
Exactly. Right? It's fine to disagree with us. We don't mind
Sure.
at all. We don't get triggered. We don't get offended. Let us know if you disagree.
Yeah, we have no egos. We have no egos at all.
No, nothing at all. The next question is, am I being unfair by feeling upset when I lend things to my friends and they consistently fail to return them?
You are definitely not the problem, I would say. No, I think
you are not the
it's
problem.
extremely inconsiderate, very inconsiderate and disrespectful that your friends do not return items they took from you.
And people do that a lot. I've had that happen to me a lot, and it's really annoying.
Oh, really? Oh,
yeah.
My goodness. No, I think
with money, with items, with things, with books, with clothes, with things like that. I just don't even really like lending things anymore. It's like, I'd rather give it to you. If you want something, I'll give it to you. And then I don't expect it back. And then there are no disappointments. But something that is cherished to me, I just don't like lending it anymore. What about you, Lucille?
Oh, absolutely. Like, I'm very, very careful about what I lend out to people. And, I kind of spot the people who are looking to take advantage of me.
Mm-hmm.
So I just say no. I mean, I do have friends who are so considerate and so respectful. It wouldn't cross my mind to say, no, you can't take this book or whatever.
Yeah.
But there are other people who are just constantly on the lookout for getting freebies. They just want freebies.
Yeah, it's terrible. No, you are not the problem. Your friends are the problem.
No,
definitely.
All right. Next one. Am I the problem for feeling overlooked and undervalued at work when a less experienced colleague received a promotion over me? Well, I can understand how you feel, but I'm not sure if you're the problem or not, because we don't know on what basis this colleague received the promotion, right?
Exactly.
It may be that they did have more skills, or they, were, able to do a project in, in a stellar way that boss really liked. There could be so many factors that go into this, and it may not be that it's that you are not valued at work. It just may be that this other person had the makings of whatever was needed for this new role that they got promoted to. Who knows?
Yeah. No, I agree. We don't have enough information to really judge, but all I can say is, stop sulking and work harder.
Yes. Or, if you're really curious, like some people are very, very curious and they really want to know, you might go, approach, your boss if you feel comfortable doing so, and say, can you explain to me what happened here? Because I'd really love to do my best. And if I'm underperforming, I'd like to know about it,
Yeah, that's a great idea. Yeah, find out. So chances are you are the problem, but let's get to the bottom of it and find out.
Right. Yeah.
Am I the problem when I don't want to hear about everyone's happy relationship stories, when I can't find anyone to love me? Oh, I know people like this. And yeah, you are the problem, because you know what? By being happy for other people, you are much more likely to attract love to yourself. So don't be a miserable cow. Be happy for the people around you.
Absolutely. Right? And that's how you're going to attract the love of your life is if you're in a high vibe state,
Yes.
feeling grateful, feeling happy for everybody else who has the relationship that they desire. You're not going to attract anybody of value, excuse me, if you're feeling grumpy and envious. It's just not going to happen. Or you're going to find somebody who's going to make you miserable. So
absolutely. And I mean,
yeah,
don't you, it's so terrible to have friends that only want to hear the bad things that happen to you. And,
yeah.
then they're happy and they're, oh, that's fantastic.
I know.
And then when
Those
good
are not
things happen
friends.
to you, then they don't
Yeah,
want to hear it. That's so you are definitely the problem. I'm sorry. You need to change that. And then once you change that, you change your mindset and you start being happy, generally happy for people around you, people that you love, then your life's going to change completely as well.
absolutely. Yeah. Okay. Am I the problem for expecting my partner to share household chores like cooking and cleaning equally? He works and I'm a stay-at-home mom.
You are the problem. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I would agree.
Yeah.
Agree. Yeah.
It's like, marriage is 50-50. I was home for 3 years with our son. And, I did all the household chores and my husband was out there working and I never expected him to come home at 11 o'clock at night and do the laundry and bathe our son. And, I had dinner waiting for him all the time. And this is how our family worked. And I think this was super important. And I think to me, you're the problem, but I'm a traditional woman with traditional roles, female, male roles. I know now things work very differently and the young kids are expecting everyone to pull their weight and a lot of times these relationships don't work out too well.
Yeah, I would agree. And you have to really ask yourself, what do you mean by equally? Because I agree with Lynn, if your partner is working hard at a job to support you, then he's putting in an equal, he could be putting in an equal or more than equal amount of energy and who knows, like finances or whatever to keep the family going. So
Yes.
Why expect him to do half of the household chores?
But some women will say that being at home being a mom, a full-time mom, is also a full-time job. So it's like we both have full-time jobs. So when he gets home, then he should still do all the other chores as well.
I understand that. I'm not sure though that doesn't seem equal to me. It's kind of like, sure, he should do something around the house. I agree. If he's helping to create some of the mess, he should do something.
Yeah.
But to divvy it up half and half, I'm not sure that's equal or fair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I think you're the problem.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. Am I the problem if my sarcasm occasionally offends my friends, even though it's meant in good humor?
Yes. I think you're the problem because you have no idea how your sarcasm is landing for these people. And it may be too cutting, too wounding, too hurtful. And you should be sensitive. I think you need to be sensitive. I mean, I think sarcasm is, has its place.
Yes.
But I don't, but if they're offended, then it means that something you said really makes them feel like that you are targeting them with the sarcasm. And
so not only are you the problem, you are not funny.
Yeah, you're not funny. I agree.
You are not funny. I mean, I have a sarcastic sense of humor as well, but I know how to use it and on whom I can use it. It's not on everyone and how. And I mean, you can use a sense of humor, sarcastic sense, without actually offending or hurting people.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes, you're the problem.
Yeah, I agree. Am I wrong for feeling neglected by my parents when they rarely initiate contact despite my efforts to reach out? Yeah, I feel for you there. I think it's really painful when you have somebody that you feel close to, that you love, and for some reason they're just not reciprocating that love. So I would agree that it is painful, and unless you've had some kind of major falling out that we don't know about, in which you played a part in pushing your parents away, I would say, yeah, I don't think you're necessarily the problem here.
Yeah, I have a cousin like this, and she's amazing, and she's the one holding the family together. And her parents live like around the corner from her, and she's got 3 kids. and they never call, they never check on the kids, they never come over, and, and it's just horrible. So, you know, if it's that kind of situation, you are definitely not the problem, and your parents are the problem. And even though it hurts, what can you do? I mean, all you can do is keep reaching out, but it's never the same kind of feeling as when somebody actually cares about you and loves you and wants to be with you. It's very, very, very sad, but you are not the problem.
No, I agree.
Am I up, or are you up?
You're up.
I'm up. Okay. Number 10. Am I the problem when I don't want to spend time with my elderly mother who is mean and disrespectful to me? I have friends like this.
Yes.
I have friends like this that are struggling like crazy right now, and their mothers are miserable and they're terrible to them, and they have to go and take care of them, and it's a real struggle. How much are we obliged? Are we obligated to take care of people that are nasty to us?
I don't think we are never. I don't think we're ever obligated to just sacrifice ourselves and be the target of our family's hostilities. Never, ever. We should never be in that position. So no, I do not think you are the problem at all. And then it's a matter of, well, how much do you want? Do you want to even spend any time? Are you ready to just cut it off with your elderly mother? Or are you willing to just keep constantly reminding her that you do not tolerate disrespect? I don't know. It's up to you, really. But I too know lots of people who are in this position.
Yeah, it's terrible.
Yeah.
Choose guilt over resentment.
Yeah. And, maybe you don't feel guilty. Some people, after a while, they don't feel guilty. They just feel relieved if they cut off the relationship with with the
yes, I do know people like that as well. So I don't think you're the problem. I mean, nobody has the right to be disrespectful to you. So no.
Am I the problem if I often share my opinions on my family members' choices, even when they don't ask for it? Yes, you are.
Of course you are. Shut up. Sit down and shut up.
Yes. I mean,
no, nobody wants your opinion. I mean, if I want your opinion, I'll ask for it. If somebody's not asking for your opinion, don't force it on other people.
Absolutely. Absolutely. You are, it's kind of arrogant.
Yeah.
It's arrogant to think I know the answers. I will tell you how you should live your life.
Yeah.
No. And I'm sure that if it was done to you, you wouldn't like it either.
No. Come to think of it, I do this sometimes, but when people
come on, confess.
I'm the problem. This was my question. No, it wasn't my question, but I can relate to it. I do force my opinions on people at times, and I probably shouldn't. So I will work on that. Thank you for the reminder.
I mean, we all do it. I have to confess I do that occasionally too, and then I have to slap myself.
It's hard to hold yourself back. I mean, we do know things so much better than others, so it's hard to not
That's true.
force our views on other people. But
but you should still respect that everybody has their own journey and they have a right to their own choices. And
it's true.
It's true. Live and let live.
Something to work on. Zip them out, Lynn. Reminder to self. Am I the problem for putting my own sexual needs ahead of my partner's? Well,
yeah, that's a complicated one.
I think if you want a healthy sexual relationship, it's a give and take, right? Everybody should feel good.
Absolutely.
And I think it works best when everyone's satisfied and it's not that one person giving more than the other all the time. It has to be some kind of a nice balance. So yeah, I think you are a bit of a problem. Don't put your needs first.
Right, exactly. And I'm not sure. My hesitation is it's such a vaguely worded question. I don't know exactly how to answer it, because what do you mean by putting your needs ahead of my partner's? Is it that you force sex on them, or that you go to other partners to get your sexual needs met?
Yeah.
I mean, I agree with Lynn that it requires a lot of mutual respect and a lot of communication to have a much more harmonious, let's say harmonious sex life.
Well, it could be, somebody that they're only concerned about their own orgasm and not worried about the partners or something like that. That was kind of my interpretation, but I'm not sure what they mean. But, in that case, it's not fair. It has to be 50-50, right?
Yeah.
Everybody needs to walk away satisfied and happy and want to come back for more. So in that context, I would say you are the problem.
Yes, I agree.
You're selfish. Do better.
Am I the problem when I expect my husband to be as nice and respectful to me as he is to others at work? I don't think you're the problem.
Well,
I
provided that
think
you are also nice and respectful to your husband,
that's a good point. That is a good point.
because
Yes,
the people
indeed.
at work are probably treating him with respect and they're nice to him.
Yeah,
So how are
yeah,
you to him when he comes home from work?
that's
How are
right.
you treating him? Because
That's
if
right.
you're treating him with love and respect, then obviously you should expect the same in return.
Absolutely. If you're standing at the door when he walks in and you're nagging at him already because he
Yeah,
didn't take the garbage out and blah blah blah, and you're
exactly.
going on and
Then you're
on,
the problem. If you're standing there in a
and you're like,
sexy lingerie with, freshly baked apple pie and he's still mean to you, then you are not the problem.
yes,
And your husband,
I
there's something wrong with
agree.
him.
I agree. Yes.
Am I the problem for expecting my roommate to respect our shared living space and keep it tidy?
I don't think so. I don't think so. I don't think you should tolerate a slob ever,
No.
ever. No.
This comes up a lot.
And
I think people need to choose like roommates more wisely. We
yeah,
had the last
and then
one, there was something.
sometimes though you don't know
Mhm.
until you know. It takes a while to live with them before you realize how
Yeah.
slobby they are, right?
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah,
And it's so
yeah,
interesting because right now we have a lot more people like living together as roommates than before because rent is so expensive, property prices are
expensive.
so expensive. So we have a lot more adults living together, a lot more people not getting married, choosing a roommate instead. So this issue keeps coming up over and over again, which is really
Yeah, and
interesting.
you cannot be too careful about the roommates because it's
Yeah.
easy to get a roommate. It's very hard to get rid of them. So
Yeah, that's
yes,
true. Yeah, but you
kind of
probably,
like marriage.
you're not the problem. Your roommate should
No,
tidy up, definitely.
I agree. I agree. Am I the problem for wanting my partner to pay more attention to me when I talk about my day? I think you could be the problem.
Mhm.
It depends. Like in female male relationships, men don't really want to hear the e- excessive detail about who said what to whom over the course of the day and who bought the better dress and all of the other stuff that you go through. That I think is stuff that you talk to your girlfriends about.
Exactly.
Guys, just their brains just cannot tolerate that, especially if it's the end of a work day and he's just trying to relax and rejuvenate
Mhm.
himself, and he does not need the play-by-play of everything that happened in your day. I think you need to hit the highlights, and that's it,
I definitely
basically.
agree. I agree totally. I think you're the problem. And I think men and women are very different like that. Like you said, Lucille,
Yes.
men come home and they need to like kind of unwind. Like in the 50s, how you would have those TV shows, they'd come home, they'd open the newspaper, put their feet up, and they just want, have a beer and just be in quiet for a few minutes,
Sure.
kind of
Sure.
unwind. And then what as women, I'm guilty of this as well. And then what we tend to do, we can't wait for them to come home. Oh my God, you won't believe what happened. And Julia did this and that, and you want to tell them everything, but maybe
Yeah.
hold back a little bit and don't, dump everything on him right away. Hold back a little bit. And like Lucille said, share the highlights. Yeah, you're the problem. Let the guy relax and bring him a beer.
Yeah. And apparently that behavior of the guy coming home and just shutting down is a strategy that actually raises their testosterone levels. I
Oh,
found out. Yeah, that during the day, in the course of a work day, the testosterone levels get depleted by all the stress, everything they have to do, all the responsibilities, how much they have to be masculine in their roles. And
mm-hmm.
so when they come home, it's like a biological imperative that they shut down and they allow their testosterone levels to rise again.
How interesting. So if you want to have a hot night with your
And
husband,
yes,
then let
that's
him
it.
relax and let that testosterone increase a little
Yeah,
bit. Very great
that's
tip.
right.
I love that.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Mhm.
Okay, am I wrong to expect an apology after an argument, especially if I feel I wasn't at fault? Well, we're never at fault, are we?
Of course we aren't. We're perfect.
I've never done anything wrong in my life. So I think this is a very difficult situation. I mean, obviously, the person that is not apologizing is also not at fault. So nobody's really at fault.
Fault.
So
Yeah, and nobody's taking responsibility. Nobody's
exactly.
looking at, well, how did what was my part in creating this argument,
Yeah.
And I think that's a dead end. You're just going to be facing a Cold War forever. if you treat people that way. You have to ask yourself, how important is this friendship or relationship to you? And if it's really important, then you're going to sit down and have a talk, and you're going to take some responsibility for your part in
Make
whatever
the
went
first move.
wrong.
Exactly. Find out what happened, make the first move, or just be the bigger man and just apologize. And if it's some small issue, not something major, it doesn't sound like it's something major after an argument. So maybe it was a stupid argument about nothing, or just get over it and move on. Yeah, we'll say you're the problem, just to keep
we agree, you're the problem. Am I the problem for sleeping with my boss and getting a promotion over others who are more qualified? Yes, you are the problem. Are you kidding me? Is this a legitimate question? I mean,
that's a pretty obvious question, isn't it?
yes. I mean, wow, I wonder what's going to happen to the company. If this is the way people get promoted. Oh my
That's
goodness.
Terrible. I thought these days were like behind us, no? That these things don't happen anymore, but I guess they do.
They do. They do. They certainly
That's
do.
terrible. Like, how would you even enjoy that promotion? Knowing how you got it.
Well, if you're a psychopath, and I hope you aren't, whoever asked this question, if you're a psychopath, you couldn't care less. You're just happy you got the promotion.
Exactly.
But it causes a ripple effect with everybody else, because people know.
Of course they know.
And it just demoralizes everybody, and then they don't really want to put their best into their jobs. So this, I think, is really like a cancerous growth in a company when these things happen. Yes, definitely you're the problem.
You're the problem, and you're the psychopath. So that's our verdict, and we're sticking to it. Am I the problem for telling my BFF that she's overweight and has let herself go?
Yes.
Yeah, that's not really. Did she ask for your opinion?
She asked for, and okay, here's another thing too, that if you were concerned about her health, I mean, you really love this friend and you're concerned about her health, then you would not blurt out you're overweight and you're letting yourself go. You would phrase it in a much more compassionate, kind way, like, I'm a little bit concerned about your health, and have you considered that maybe you need to at the very least get a checkup and find out if maybe you have some risk factors for something that's serious. Like, I think you have to do it with love. You have to do it with love, and you can't just label people and tell them this is your problem.
And some people would get really offended even if you suggested to go get checked out if there's a problem. I mean, I think if somebody's not asking for your opinion, it's best to just keep it to yourself. I mean, hopefully your friendship is strong enough that they will come to you and say, do you think I put on a bit of weight? Or do you think, if they don't ask, I don't know. It's really difficult.
This is a little bit, again, vague, because I don't know what extent the friend is overweight, to what extent, and let herself go. I'm not really sure. But for example, if it's like an earlier thing that we dealt with in previous episode, where you're seeing that your friend is drinking way too much, like it's a serious issue.
Yes, I agree.
Then I think if you love this person, then you're going to say something, but you're going to do it with tremendous compassion and caring.
Yes.
But if it's just that she's put on, 15 pounds and, no, I agree with Lynn. If she's not seeing it as a problem, don't make it into one.
Yeah. So you're the problem.
Yeah. Okay. Am I the problem for not asking my friend to sing at the wedding and hiring a professional? I don't think you're a problem.
No. Can your friend even sing?
Can your friend sing, or is she a wannabe singer? I don't know.
No.
This is your very special day. I mean, this is like serious. And you should be able to choose exactly what you want to do with it.
What if the friend offered to sing at the wedding?
Yeah, well, that's an issue that I think is very sensitive. Like, what happens and you've had, did you have a formal wedding, Lynn?
Yes, but very small one in Las Vegas.
Oh, okay. So you don't count. But
It
anyway,
wasn't Elvis that married us, but there were only 4 people at my wedding.
that sounds like fun.
Yeah,
Um,
it was.
but if you're planning a formal wedding and this is so important to you, you may find that a whole bunch of friends and family members suddenly decide that they want to decide how things go.
Mhm.
And you have to invite their third cousin twice removed from Australia, and the somebody's kid who you don't even know is going to be the ring bearer, and people just like feel entitled to take over.
Mhm.
And I've seen this so many times in my clients. Thank God I never had a wedding where it just turns into everybody else's circus if you
Mhm.
let that happen.
Yeah, absolutely.
And and I think this is something that is sets the tone for the rest of your relationship, your marriage. It
Mhm.
is something that you can look back on that is beautiful and warms your heart. Why do you want to make it substandard? Why, if
No.
I assume you really don't like the way your friend sings or whatever, why then? Why then give in and let her sing when you would
No.
prefer a professional to do it?
Yeah, I
I would
think
say I
you're
don't
not
think
the
you're the problem.
problem. But maybe if she has a beautiful voice and she offered to sing, maybe she can sing one song at the wedding
That's a good point. Yeah,
rather
you could
than,
negotiate
doing the whole
compromise.
show, just doing one special song or something if you're open
Sure,
to it. But I don't think you're the problem. It's your wedding and it's your special day, and you can make it whatever you want.
I
That brings
agree.
us to our last question of the day. Am I the problem for expecting my neighbor to keep his cats inside his own yard?
Ugh. Well, I can understand why you might not want his cats in your yard, but it's if they're outdoor cats and you don't have like an iron fence, they're
Yeah.
gonna get to your yard. They're gonna get everywhere.
Yeah.
Um, So yeah, I really don't know how you would deal with this. All it's just you are entitled not to want the cats in your own yard, but realistically, I don't know how you can prevent it. Do you have another idea about this?
No, it's really hard, and I have this problem actually, so I can
Oh, do
totally relate
you?
to this.
Yeah,
And they come and they dirty in your garden and everything, and
yeah,
I fear for my dogs, and they get in fights with the dogs.
sure,
So it's not a good situation. So I don't think you're the problem at all. I think if people have
yeah,
cats, I know it's hard to keep them inside your garden, but you're also responsible for them. So it's not fair. For example, my son has a cat allergy. So if the cats come over and
oh,
there's hair everywhere and they go on my furniture and stuff, or they even walk into my house, I'm not pleased about that. So I don't think you're the problem. I think neighbors need to have respect. And it's like if my dog would go into my neighbor's garden, what would the neighbor say? Or walk into his house? So because it's a cat,
right,
then it's okay,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
But if it was a
yeah,
dog, nobody would tolerate a dog doing that. But because a cat can climb over walls and fences and everything, you can't keep them out, then well, it's just a cat or 6 or 7 or whatever,
oh
in
my
my
God,
case. Yeah, so that's a tough one. I would say you're not the problem.
I agree, I agree. Oh well,
Eh,
so that's our judgmental episode for.
yeah, I love it. I love these. These are so good.
Well, I hope everyone had as much fun with this as we did.
Yes, I hope so too, guys. And like Lucille said earlier, if you don't agree with any of these things, let us know below. And these are fun. These are really fun questions. I really enjoyed this. We really hope you guys enjoyed this episode once again with us. Thank you so much for sticking with us, for listening, for liking, sharing with your friends, and keep sending us those questions, guys. And we love hearing from you.
Yes, thank you so much. You make the podcast for us. Thank you.
No, thank you. Thank you guys so much. Thank you, Dr. Lucille. And we will see you guys in the next episode.
Thank you, Lynn.
Thank
Thank you,
you.
everybody. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Please be aware that Lynn and I are here to provide insights, advice, stories that are for educational and entertainment purposes only. None of our content should be considered to be personal, medical, or mental health therapy. If you are experiencing a mental health or physical health challenge, please consult the appropriate healthcare specialist. We are here to provide the best possible content in an atmosphere of positive conversation and personal growth.